Hi everybody, this is Janet Bray Attwood, otherwise known as the Janet, and you are at day 4. Yay! Yay for day 4, we made it. And today is all about getting rid of your limiting beliefs. And what the heck are limiting beliefs? You know, there are 3 things that get in the way of anyone living a passionate life, and these things are toxic. Repeat after me, T-O-X-I-C, toxic. Yeah, they're these false beliefs, they're these false ideas, they're these false concepts that we all hold in our brain about, I'm not good enough, or I'm not beautiful enough, or I don't have the right body, or I'm not educated enough. And let me tell you, it isn't so. It's not so, but the mind, what is the mind here to do? It's that old monkey mind. It's here to just like say, you're not this, you're not that, you're not beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And here's what's so wonderful to know about. These are just these little concepts that have nothing to do with reality, nothing whatsoever. One of my favorite quotes in the Passion Test is, what you love and God's will for you are one and the same. And I always say the universe does not play tricks, that it's not a mistake that you love what you love. And, we've gotten you guys to all take the Passion Test and get clear on what you're most passionate about. And so, therefore, how could there be anything that could keep you from living your passionate life? And there is just one little thing, and it is those false beliefs, false ideas, and false concepts. And I say one because really they're all one and the same. And those little, thoughts that we hold are like brick wall, that you could be like just jamming along, living your life, grooving, living your passion, and then all of a sudden something happens, oh gosh, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the other thing, and it's like ramming right into a brick wall. And the best way that I found to eliminate these limiting beliefs is this wonderful, wonderful process. It's called the work of Byron Katie. And I am a big proponent of this work, and it's a wonderful process of self-inquiry to just take a look at what are your limiting beliefs. And what Byron Katie says is that you don't undo your limiting beliefs, you do self-inquiry, and then spontaneously and naturally they let go of you. And the work is just simply 4 questions and a turnaround. And the 4 questions are, is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? Can you really know that it's true? How do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? Who would you be without that thought? And then turn that thought around. So let me give you an example. I'll give you a Janet example. Let's see, what's one of my limiting beliefs? Because honestly, believe it or not, I still entertain some every once in a while. And I got to tell you though, the work is like a virus. And once you learn this wonderful process of self-inquiry, whenever you start to entertain these beliefs that are blocking you from being able to live your passionate, happy life, then automatically you start doing these, is it true? Can you really know that it's true? And asking yourself these questions, and in just a few minutes you can find yourself back into that wonderful, wonderful dream called happy. So let's see, one of my limiting beliefs, I know. Chris shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud. Yes, that was one of my limiting beliefs when Chris and I used to go to the movies together many years ago. And I would sit there in the movie theater and he would be, just enjoying his popcorn like all guys do. And yet I have this thing about how popcorn sounds. So I'd go, Chris shouldn't, so here's my limiting belief, Chris shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud. So you just start doing these, questions of Byron Katie. Chris shouldn't be chewing his popcorn so loud. Is it true? And in my reality, it would be yeah. And then the next question is, can you absolutely know that it's true? Well, can I absolutely know anything? No, on this one, no. I can absolutely know that Chris, shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud. Then the next question is, how do you react when you attach to that thought? And then that's where you go in when you have your own limiting belief. How do I react? What happens when I believe the thought that Chris shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud? Wow, how do I react? God, like I'm grumpy and, I like not nice, and I go, God, I'll go, hey, can you close your mouth? And I'll do all these things, and the next question is, who would you be without that thought? Who would I be sitting there in the movie theater without the thought that Chris shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud? I'd be grooving on the movie. I'd be grooving on the fact that one of my very best friends in the whole world is sitting next to me, having a ball, because he always does, eating his popcorn and loving up the, whatever picture is on. He's one of those few people on the planet that no matter what he goes and sees, it's always good. And that's where I would be. So the next question is turn that thought, or the next step of the work is turn that thought around. So Chris shouldn't chew his popcorn so loud. Turned around, Chris should. Yeah, well, he should if he is. Obviously, he's supposed to, because that's what he's doing. Reality is always kinder than the story we tell about it. Then the next turnaround would be, I shouldn't chew my popcorn so loud. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. Have I ever chewed my popcorn too loud? There's been a lot of times in my life where people have said, hey Janet, zip it, zip. Hey, popcorn a little bit too loud. And now this is a real simplified version of what this process is, but I got to tell you, one of the things that Byron Katie says is judge your neighbor, write it down, ask for questions, and turn it around. What she means by judge your neighbor, don't write, a worksheet, and you can find a worksheet by going to www.thework.com and just hit on download worksheet. And, when you do these worksheets, don't write it about you because you're too close to it. Don't be spiritual and, write something down about someone in your life that, every time they do that thing, it really bugs the heck out of you. And then start, asking these questions. Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? Who would you be without that thought? And take some real time to do self-inquiry, to really go inside, and answer these questions. And then turn those thoughts around, turn that thought around, turn it completely 100% around to yourself and to the other. And then what you'll find is that when you do this, you have this really incredible sense of compassion that grows because you realize that, hey, I do it too, or I've done that, or I'm responsible for this one. And you have an incredible compassion for the other that grows. And what I love about this process of self-inquiry is that it really bridges any of these things that keep us separated, and all of us want to be one with one another. So enjoy doing the work of Byron Katie.